Hello. Trying to make sure everything's running right because YouTube has made some changes lately. Not really to the live, it looks like, but they've made changes to some other things which they may benefit the creators. They may be good, they may be not. But I've learned some new things recently that they have done. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes and see if somebody else comes. I know there's usually not many, but there's some that come, some that never speak. But that's okay. I've gone to live streams and not talked at all. Haven't gone to a live stream in a long time, though. It's been a while. I feel like my camera is not where it's supposed to be, but I don't know. It's fine. It looks like I've lost Donna. Last week we talked about kindness, and then after that, there were several people on different videos that were talking about kindness that I watched. It was so weird. I was like, these people have never heard of me that I've watched, that I watched. They don't know who I am. They didn't watch the Bible study. They didn't watch the live thing, but they were talking about kindness too. Said some of the same things I did. I can't remember who all it was. Some of them were like planner related channels, and some were just, homemaker channels types of things. But kindness is very important. And I feel like what I want to talk about today is very important too. But the way I ended up here, I was not even planning on talking about this, but then, which I did post it on my community tab the other day, my devotional, I think it was Monday or something like that. No, Sunday. I don't know. Anyway, one of the days recently, my devotional that I was reading from Joyce Meyer was about being busy. And then I came across another article about being busy, which I linked that article. I couldn't link the Joyce Meyer thing, but I did. It's on my community page. But I thought, okay, maybe that's what I'm supposed to talk about, because it kept popping up into my head how busy we are all the time, how busy we are as a people, as a country, as a world, how busy we seem to think we have to be. So I wanted to read the devotional, and then I printed out the devotional, and then I started writing notes. I didn't even write them in my book. I'm going to write them in my book so I have them, because I have this little book that all my notes from all my live studies, I put in here so that I can have them. But I just started writing because things just started popping in my head that I felt like I needed to possibly say, or I needed to remember, or something. So I listened to the article, reminded me of 9/11 and how more people went to church and smiled at each other in New York City, but only for a while. Yeah. Then I guess they got back to being too busy. Yeah, that's true. So you read the article already. I thought that maybe if I put it in there, somebody might, because I think y'all can see all that stuff already. But yeah, things were different after 9/11. I remember things being different. And now, 20 years later, it's 20 years now, almost. It's just like nobody has time. But that was actually written in 2007. That article was. But the devotional I read the other day, the scripture was Ecclesiastes 5:3. Too much activity gives you restless dreams. Too many words make you a fool. And now this is something that really got to me whenever I read it. And then last night, and I've been sleeping really well. I have been sleeping so well lately that I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's just God has been helping me sleep. Maybe it's also because Jeff is home and he's not on the shift he was on or whatever. But last night, I hardly got any sleep. I got like 4 hours of sleep, which I know some people that's a lot, but to me that's not much. But whenever I woke up this morning and I could not go back to sleep, I contemplated not doing this Bible study. I thought, I can't. I'm too tired. I can't do it. My head was hurting. I just felt miserable because I couldn't sleep. And I didn't know why. I don't know why. Other than it had to be Satan was trying to stop me from doing this. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I hate to say stuff like that because that may not be what it was. It might just be that my hormones are getting stupid or something. I don't know. But either way, I could not sleep. So I woke up after 4 hours of sleep. It was, it was about 4 hours, and because I track it, it was like 4 hours and 40 minutes. So it was almost 5 hours. But I woke up and I was thinking, oh no, I have my live today. It's not like a video that I can put off. This is something that I'm going to do that's live. I have to do it today, which I don't have to, but anyway. So my mind was going all over the place, and I was thinking, okay, fine. I'll just do it sleepy. I'll do it tired. I'll do it whatever. And after I decided that I was doing this live stream, no matter how crappy I felt, I fell asleep on the love seat for like 2 hours. So I had like 6 hours and 40 minutes of sleep. So I'm good now. Also, we may hear Noah because he's about to get ready for work. So he's going to be making noises, which is fine. But anyways, I felt like that being restless today, I don't know why I couldn't sleep. But once I made up my mind that I was doing this live stream no matter what, as they say, I slept like a baby, which babies don't sleep too well, but still. But anyways, the scripture, Ecclesiastes 5:3, too much activity gives you restless dreams. Too many words make you a fool. Now, that scripture I noticed after I read it, I was thinking, wow, the times whenever I am super busy during the day and I'm just doing all kinds of things, I get in the bed and I'm exhausted, but then I can't go to sleep. My legs hurt, my whatever, those times are when I'm restless. I can't sleep, but I am the most tired. And I thought, that is just so right. But then the part that says too many words make you a fool, that got me to thinking. Our words, as I have said before, are very important. And I used to always have something to say about everything. I didn't care what it was. I had something to say about everything. But then I decided it just didn't matter. It wasn't my business. And I didn't have to have something to say about everything everybody did. And I started choosing what I say when I say it. And I noticed that I have more peace because of it. So anyway, the devotional goes on and says, don't be busy, be fruitful. Are you doing stuff that isn't bearing fruit? Is busyness stealing your peace? I once heard of a guard who watched over a certain plot of ground at Buckingham Palace in England for 100 years. 24 hours a day, that plot of land had been guarded. Finally, someone asked, "What are you guarding?" He didn't know and simply said it had been under guard for 100 years. It turned out that 100 years ago, the Queen had planted some rose bushes there and wanted to make sure they grew. Now, a century later, a guard stood where the rose bush once stood, guarding nothing. Are there things you're doing, but you don't know why you're doing them anymore? God never called us to be busy. He called us to be fruitful. Too much pointless activity doesn't bear fruit and only stresses us out. I encourage you to take an inventory of what you do throughout the day. You might be doing something God's not asking you to do, or something He was asking you to do but isn't anymore. Let the Holy Spirit show you how to get rid of busyness and bear more fruit. Now, I usually don't bring in other people's devotionals and stuff. I will read a little snippet of something, an article or something, but this hit me hard. This hit me really hard, and it got me to thinking, what are the things that I'm doing that I really don't need to be doing? What are the things that maybe I have done in the past, but I've stopped doing, and they have helped me? So I started writing. First, I put in things I've changed. These are some things I changed. I used to waste time every single day figuring out what we were going to eat for dinner. That was something that we usually spent an hour on. And then we'd end up eating something that we didn't even want, something that was not that great. And we were just busy trying to figure it out and ended up being annoyed and not even enjoying our meals. So I stopped that. I made a master list of the meals that we liked, and I do add to that list whenever we try new things that we like them. And now I make a weekly menu plan and I choose from those things. Now, am I still busy? Am I still doing things for our meals? Yes, but there's not all that everyday bickering and unhappiness. So I feel like that is something that God helped me to figure out, because I honestly did not start doing that until after I came back to the Lord. After I rededicated my life to the Lord, that is when I started making changes that really impacted our lives. Have I made all the changes I'm supposed to? No, I don't think so, because I think that we are supposed to change things throughout our lives, that God shows us new ways to do things and shows us when we need to drop certain things. So, another thing I changed. I stopped shopping, then coming home to find I already had whatever item it was. I used to just go shopping and just get whatever, and then I would end up with 5 packs of cheese whenever I only needed one. And another problem was I didn't have organization in my house, but that was something I had done for years. I would just go grocery shopping and I would get what we normally ate, and I would make meals from those things, and it was so boring. It was so boring, and we had so many things that were just over and over and over that I did what was called a brain dump. I do that. I still do brain dumps all the time. I'm always doing brain dumps. That's kind of what I did here. I just used this piece of paper that I printed this on so I could read it to you guys. I just dumped it out from here to here. That's all I did. But now I keep an inventory of the things we have. That way, I don't have to make extra trips to the store. That way, I don't have an over amount of one thing and not enough of another, because there were so many times I would have to go back to the store. And y'all know, if you have to go back to the store, you're going to spend more than what you planned. You're going to go pick up other things because you're going to be like, oh, wait, but we could use this. And, oh, that's on sale. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? That kind of thing. So that's another thing that I did. Is it perfect? No. Do I tweak it sometimes? Yes. And I believe that now that I have the systems in place, me tweaking them helps me to make the system work best for me in our lives. Hello. You can make noise, it's fine. And then also another thing I did is I started creating systems for tasks that I needed to get done. I used to let's just say that I needed to go through, this is something I need to do right now. This is still something I need to work on. I'm going to show y'all this. I don't show anybody this stuff. This little box looks neat, right? It's all cute. It says receipts on it. Everything is all cute. Well, every year I put receipts in here from the year, and then at the end of the year I go through them. Well, Jeff and I had discussed this, and we thought, why are we doing that? Why are we keeping every single receipt from every gas station, which we don't go to many of those except to get gas. Why are we keeping all the receipts from the grocery store, all the Home Depot, all the things? Why are we keeping all the receipts in here? Because we keep all the receipts except the ones for bills. Bills going another place. They are very organized. Don't know why I keep those organized, but these are not. Well, we had come up with a system. We had said every week to 2 weeks, we would, actually first we said every month we would go through them and we would decide, okay, is this something we need to keep or can we purge it? Has it gone through the bank? Is this something that we need to, shred, or do we need to keep it because maybe it has some sort of warranty? Well, does it look like I've done it? No. We're almost middle of the eighth month of the year, and I still haven't done it yet. I did it once, and it was only like the second week of January. I haven't done it. This is something that I was just sitting yesterday and looking at this box. It looks so neat on my desk. You can't tell that there's a bunch of junk in there. You can't see it. But it's hiding there, eating away at my brain. It's something I need to get busy fixing instead of being busy thinking about it. Because this is distracting me. This is distracting me from other things that I need to be doing. Because I could set up that system or use the system we actually discussed. In fact, I wrote it down somewhere. Where did I write it down at? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I wrote it down somewhere in my budget planner. To do that, I wrote down exactly how we were going to do it. We haven't done it. But today, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to look through those receipts and I'm going to figure it out. If it takes me all the rest of the day after I'm done with this, that's fine. Because since I got up so early, all my other chores are done for the day until I have to cook dinner. Because I've already done all the laundry that I'm supposed to do today, other than vacuuming, which takes 20 minutes to vacuum the whole house, maybe 25. And Selena may do that for me if I tell her to. Not if I ask her to. She'll just do it if I tell her to. But anyways, I need to use those systems so that I'm not busy thinking about it. I'm not perfect. I know that. But it's okay. And I know that this is more about life, but isn't life? I mean, it's more than, it's not just a Bible study today. It's about things we're doing that I'm doing myself that are keeping me from being in my Bible as much as I would like. And I'll get to that point later. All right. Another thing I do is I use planners. I made lists on my phone and on paper. In fact, I have an app. It's called To Do. And I have little tasks that I have every day that I do. And then I've got other little things like Selena, Noah, meal prep, got to get done. I have all these little tasks on here. Now, some of those tasks, they are the same thing that are in my planners because I need them in two places to help me. So those little things that I have put in place I don't have to think about it anymore. I know exactly what I have to do on any given day because it's right there. I don't have to think every morning for 10 to 15 minutes, what am I supposed to do today? All I have to do is go to my phone or my planner or both, and I know what it is. So that's the way that I have done. And another thing that I have done is I've been decluttering. Jeff and I started a few years ago decluttering, which I need to redo. I need to declutter the kitchen again, because whenever we declutter our homes, we are decluttering our minds, because all the little things we keep, they are something we have to manage. And if we are keeping a ton of stuff that's sitting there staring at us and we're like, what do we need to do with that? What are we going to do with that? That's distracting us from what we need to be doing. Another thing is, I think about what I want before I step into something. Just like some of you know that I started another channel for my planners because I felt like people on this channel, people that are watching my channel that we're currently on, some of them are not interested in planner stuff, and it maybe distracts them, or it maybe is something that they would not want to see on my channel. And I thought maybe I need to dedicate a channel to that. And I thought about it for probably 2 years before I ever finally did it. But I sat down one day and I brain dumped and I figured out exactly what I wanted to do. And now I have that channel. It's not any more work because I'm doing the same thing I was before and just uploading to there instead of uploading to this channel. I mean, it is a tiny bit more work because I have to check it and this one, but that's like 5 minutes. And it helps me to know what I want to do. And I thought about that. I put a lot of thought in it, maybe too much thought actually, because I wasn't sure until I was sure. But I think about things before I step in. Hey, I think about things before I step into it. Jeff and I this is not our forever home. We know that. We don't want to live in the city forever. We're not made for the city. We're fine here, but it's not what we want. We want to have a place out in the country. And honestly, our kids would like that too, which they're grown now and they may not be here by the time we move. We don't know. But we've been discussing it. We've been discussing how much property we want. We've been discussing how much or what kind of house we want, how big of a house we want, if we want a house or if we want a mobile home, or what do we want? You know, we've lived in mobile homes before. I see nothing wrong with that. I know some people think of it as something that's bad or whatever. That's ridiculous. I lived in one my whole life. I'm doing just fine. But and now we live in a brick home. Is this brick home better than the mobile home we lived in? Well, it's better than the mobile home we lived in last because it needed a lot of work. But, you know, it doesn't make a difference to me what the outside looks like. Well, it does, but it doesn't. As long as it's decent. So, my point for saying all of that was, we think about things. I think about things before I step into it, because I have stepped into things and then realized, oh, this was a mistake. We shouldn't have done this. This was just something that's going to cause more problems. It distracted us more. And every one of those distractions keeps us from furthering our walk with God. And that's just how that I feel about it. Another thing I stopped doing was buying things just because I had caused a huge problem for me. And you say you love planning and planners and all this stuff. I do too. But I had bought so many that I had nowhere to put them. So I've actually not bought a planner in a couple of years. And the reason why is because I had so many. Well, I did buy one. I bought my faith planner because I want that certain kind, and I was out of that planner, that kind that I needed for scripture writing. But I haven't bought other planners, and I'm not going to. Like for next year, I don't need a planner. I don't need a planner until probably 2023, as far as I know. And I had bought so many things that I was sitting there trying to figure out what to do with them instead of spending my time on what I needed to spend my time on. So I put myself on a freeze, as they say. So another thing that I learned whenever I started planning, I started with bullet journaling. And I learned about bullet journal migration. And whenever you migrate something, you either change it to the next week, the next day, the next month, the next year, whatever you choose to do. And during the process of migration, you learn what needs to stay and what needs to go. If things are benefiting you spiritually, I believe it should stay. If things are not helping your walk with God, I feel like it needs to leave immediately. And that's one thing that I have been doing. Once I learned the process of migration, I learned how to purge all those things that I don't need. Also, I wrote down being busy might not only be doing things, it can be thinking about doing them. That's what I was just talking about, the thought of being busy all the time. We currently live in a 4-bed colonial. We bought to have enough room for our foster children, but now we're done fostering. I want to sell all the time, but hubby says no, he likes land and privacy. Now, that's the thing. We want property. We want at least 5 acres. Now, will we get that? We don't know. But that is our goal, to have at least 5 acres, because we would like to have, right now, our neighbors are right next door. We have a little side yard, a little back and front. This is the smallest area we've ever lived in, ever. Other than when I lived in a trailer park years ago. When I was 14 and 15, I lived in a trailer park. But this is the smallest area we've ever lived on. Is it enough? For now, yes. But we would like to do more things, and we just don't have the space. And that's okay for now. We know that. We know that for now, this is how it is. So the other article, which Donna says she's already read, it came from Tomorrow's World, and I get the Tomorrow's World magazine, and it's always got some stuff people would be like, oh, well, that's crazy. And other stuff, they'll be like, oh, yeah. But I liked it, but I don't even know how I came across it. But it says, one of the prime dangers for Christians today is getting so busy that they lose their spiritual focus, especially as the pace of society hastens. This is a real danger to spiritual growth. I'm probably not going to read it all because you guys can read it yourself. But this made me think so much about the fact that our world today is focused so much on hustle and busy and get it done and being the boss babe. And, okay, you guys know that I plan. I play with stickers. I got sticker books everywhere. But there's some of these stickers in here that really get on my nerves. But that's okay. They may not get on other people's nerves because of some of the things they say. Because they say things about hustle and all this stuff. And yeah, there's a time to hustle. There's a time to try to get all the things done. And there's a time to do all. But you have to manage it. And I had noticed back a while, let's see, it was a couple years ago, probably about 2 to 3 years ago, I was so focused on my YouTube channel. That's all I thought about. And I kept being like so down because I felt like I was supposed to be bigger by then, that I didn't understand why I wasn't getting subscribers. I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. And trust me, it's because of the algorithm, and it's because some people like you and some people don't. But I was so focused on that I lost my focus on God. Not completely, but I had before that been doing like my daily devotion, and then I was doing different scripture writing and scripture reading and doing all these different things. And then it's like God woke me up and said, hey, you are forgetting me. You're not giving me all that you were. You need to come back and do what you're supposed to do. Not that I was not a good Christian, not that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing with reading my Bible and stuff, but I was focused more on other things than I was on him. So, you still in my truck? No. So I was focused more on things than I was on God. So it was like I had to realize that I needed to come back to him. And then it's like once there's a fly in here. They are still in the city as well as the country. And we let the dogs out quite often. But anyway, once I had changed my focus back to God, I didn't care if my channel grew as much. I just let it grow. As some people say, I let it grow organically. I want it to grow, but am I worried about it? No. Do I sit and think about it constantly? No. Am I trying to hustle and get things done and trying to promote myself and all this? No. And if you do that, that's fine, as long as you're not letting it distract you from what's most important, which is your relationship with God, because it is a relationship. And it's just like there was a time when I was not really caring about my relationship with my husband, and he wasn't caring about his relationship with me. We were just cool. We were good. We were content. And it almost killed our marriage because we were so content, and we were like not doing date night. We weren't worrying about each other, that we kind of almost lost each other. We did almost lose each other. It got really bad. But this was years ago, and it all goes back to when we rededicated our lives to God. That's when our lives changed for the better, because our focus changed, and God showed us what was most important. So I want to read some stuff y'all say. Okay, Donna says, if you're having chronic pain or other chronic issues, sickness, etc., I have a suggestion for a prayer that is helpful to me when I use it. Ask God to show you what he wants you to do today and to give you the power to carry that out. That is yes, definitely. And I do have some different issues. Like I've had spine surgery. You can see the scar that's from cervical spine surgery. And I have spine issues. My lower spine, my lumbar spine, I have problems there too. I have pain that I don't really talk about much, and it can stop you. It can stop you from doing anything. And you're right, Donna. You have to ask God to help you through those days. You have to. Then Val said, we have 3 acres, but it is surrounded by 400 acres of preserved forest. It really can't be beat. Oh, that would be awesome. Our last house had neighbors a stone's throw away. Not fun. They were nosy. Our neighbors don't care what's going on with us. In fact, over there, there's nobody anymore. He's paying rent, but he's not living there, and he hasn't been for like 3 years. City life does have conveniences. Okay. The girl wash your face thing. I had actually bought both of those books, The Girl Wash Your Face and whatever the other one is. And I read both of them. The first one, I read it, and I was like, oh, well, this is some neat stuff. And it did have some biblical viewpoints and all this stuff. And I thought, this is, pretty good. Love you. I'll see you at 6 for supper or what? Okay. Love you. If you need me, let me know. Yes, please. Hi, Vivian. Thank you. But anyway, the Girl Wash Your Face books. I had read those, the first book, and I thought, oh, well, that's a pretty good book. So whenever she came out with a second one, which I know she has more books, but I don't know. When I read the second one, it was not biblical at all. And I was like, oh, no, what in the world is this mess that I'm reading? I had to force myself to finish reading it because I thought she would redeem herself, but she never did. Those books quickly left my house. And you guys know, if you've watched me for any period of time, you know I have a ton of books. But when a book is so off base that it's supposed to be a Christian book that is so unbiblical, it has to go. It cannot stay in my house. And I can't stand that. It's, yeah, you need to go wash your face if it's dirty, but we're not supposed to be hustling, bustling, getting all the things done, and that's just ridiculous. She was promoting herself, and it was like she didn't even care about her husband and children. And I followed her on Instagram. I followed her different things, and I started noticing how very disrespectful she was to her whole family. And I was just like, no, I don't want nothing to do with her anymore. So I deleted her from my life. I know that sounds horrible, but I did not give her any more of my money or time. So yeah, I don't like this hustle thing. I feel like all of that comes from a secular movement. It does not come from God. God does not want us hustling. God does not want us trying to get rich quick and do this thing and that thing. That's not what God wants for us. He didn't call us to go and do those things. And the thing with the boss mom, boss woman, and y'all might get mad at me. People that watch after may get mad at me, but some of this stuff came straight from feminism, and I don't even know why I'm talking about this, because it has nothing to do. Well, I guess it does. But well, Donna, I don't know. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. So some people put themselves in that storm. But there's some things that came, like the girl wash your face. It comes from feminism. It comes from women are better than men, and women are this, and there's so many things right now that, they're against patriarchy. It's against men. And I'm sorry. Did you see the one that just left? That man is my son, and he is more important than this movement. And he's 22. He'll be 23 next month. He's growing up in a time where that men are treated as if they're nothing. And my husband, who he left before I started the live stream because he had to go to work. But these men are treated like nothing. And like, Val, your husband's a fireman. And I don't know from your experience, because your husband's full-time as far as I know. My husband was just a volunteer fireman. It scared the poopa stinks out of me for him to go to any fire, because it was dangerous. These men are treated like they're second-class citizens now by all these women because, girl power and all this junk. I see all these little shirts that these little girls are wearing that say girl power, and I'm like, no, that's just not what the message should be. But I don't know. I just don't like a lot of these things that are being promoted now, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see any other way. Yes, I agree about me and hubby and I were talking about something similar the other day. It's no wonder kids today do not know what to believe. They hear so many different things, multiple genders, etc. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Donna. But I do find that the feminist movement brought in all kinds of things that is completely, it's even against women. People are not understanding what these people are doing, but there's a lot of feminist things that are even against, like, women like me who want to be a stay-at-home mom. The feminist movement does not like me because I want to stay home and take care of my husband and children, which now my children are grown and they take care of themselves, but that's not the point. The feminist movement is against me, and I'm against them. I guess you could say. But people are understanding, and I used to have all these feminist thoughts because it was the way I was raised, and it was the things that women in my family had said, like, don't let a man run over you, don't let there are more and more of us, Kat, who stay home by choice. Exactly, Donna. There were times when I worked. I had to work because Jeff's job was cut really down in hours, and so we decided for me to get a job, and I did it, and I had zero problems with that. I don't have a problem with working. I mean, I work more here than I did at a job, but you have no idea. Not just feminism, but the idea of anyone in authority are to be hated. Exactly. Yeah, I know that's just crazy. It is messed up where people set fires and then shoot firefighters and EMTs. It's sickening. And then, like, I saw this thing. I don't even know what it was. I think it was just like one of those little Google ads, or not an ad, but like on a news story. I was just scrolling through the news thing where that a man had went in and saved his twin daughters because his house caught on fire. Probably do, Donna. A lot of people probably do. But I just feel like there's so many things that this world is spewing at us that is taking up our time, that is making us think differently than we should be, that is not making us think biblically, and it's destroying Christians. It's in the churches. It's not like it should be. But like I was saying, let's see, I completely agree. Feminism is in direct opposition of the family unit, which means the destruction of basic structure of society. Exactly. It is completely in opposition. It's horrible. It's horrible. I was thinking about talking about this one day on my channel, but not on it's supposed to be a Bible study. But I'm so mixed up today with I don't even know. My sleep was disrupted and crazy. But I was saying something. Okay. Growing up, I heard the women in my family say things like, don't let no man run over you, and you can do just as good as a man, you're just as good as a man. And nobody was ever telling me I was worse than a man. No man ever made me feel like I was less than. And it was confusing, but I had these thoughts that my husband wasn't going to boss me around. My husband, he never tried to boss me around. He never tried to tell me what to do, but I had this thought that I had to win, even though there was no fight. Does that make sense? No, it does not. So I had to start relearning the right way to be, and relearning my place in this world as a female is not to try to be better than men. I had to learn that because I had been told that men were just there to stomp me down. That's pretty much what I was told my whole life. Let's see. Vivian said, I have to say men can not do half of what women can do: cook, clean, take care of kids, bills, etc., multitask. Now, my husband can, though. I can't do one thing that men do: chop wood, work away from home, open the pickle jar. And then again, I can do some things that men can do. It is according to how much, I think it's according to who taught you. But Jeff, he learned how to do some things out of necessity. Alicia, I'm very, very independent and self-assertive. However, due to health issues, I chose to be a stay-at-home mom and take care of me and my family. See, Alicia, the thing is, if you want to work, I have no problem with that. But I don't feel like any woman who does not work should be treated as less than. I don't mind if women... I have a sister who has worked. I don't think she ever not worked. since she could. And I have no problem with that. She doesn't see me as less than because she works, and I don't see her as more than because she works. It's fine with us because we don't like feminism, but but I don't have a problem with a woman working. I have a sister who worked for years until she had a child, and then she didn't. She was 40 years old when she had her first child, and she worked from, I don't know what age she started. She's 12 years older than me. She was working since I remember. But I don't have a problem with women working. I have a good friend who is an awesome nurse. She works all the time. And that's what she chose to do. Which she was a single mom, and she did have to, but I mean, she could have tried to make it well if she would have gotten child support like she was supposed to. But then again, it did beat that. But let's not talk about that one. But my thing is, I don't think that men are better than women or women are better than men. And that is what feminism is trying to teach us, that women have to do these things. I had the same experience being told to be superwoman and don't let a man hold you down. Yet I never had a man even try. Maybe it was 70s and 80s feminism mantra. I believe so. And, if you think about it, some of the big actors and actresses, actresses who were very much, they still are, into the feminist movement, they were the ones telling us what we needed to do, or telling our mothers and aunts what they needed to do, and our grandmothers and everything. And they were the ones, telling them what to do and what was wrong, when the whole time those women probably didn't have those things wrong in their home, but they became a thing because of listening to that. And, that's honestly one reason I don't watch much TV. And I'm very picky about who I watch on YouTube. And I'm very picky about what I do watch. And I rarely watch the news. And there have been times where that I was watching a series. I can't remember any, like, right off. I had been watching different television series, and then they start getting into all this stuff that's totally against. I mean, yeah, it's a secular show. It may happen. I knew that going into it. I knew that I may end up hearing things that I don't like. But whenever it gets to the point that is the overwhelming message, I don't watch it anymore. Because I don't need that kind of propaganda in my face. And I just feel like that's just not helpful for anyone. I don't know how I ended up talking about feminism, but it is something that I know how I feel about it, but I don't know how to talk about it. I don't know, sometimes what to say. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings who hasn't come into the realization of what that movement is. I mean, honestly, it is bad for women, because women who want to be home or have no choice but to be home, they're looked at as less than. Like, people would ask me where I worked, and I would say, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom. And honestly, if you think about it, I worked just as much or more than them, because I had a 24-hour job. And some of these women were single, so they didn't have children, but, so they didn't have a 24-hour job. But then again, they do, because they have to take care of themselves and their home and, things like that. I remember feeling bad about myself that I didn't have this strong drive for a career, even though I graduated from college and had a great career. I hated it. My heart wanted to be home with my kids. Yeah, I didn't go to college, but I had a chance to move up into different jobs, but I didn't ever want that. I wanted to be home. I wanted to bake the bread. I wanted to, manage my home. And managing a home, if you pay somebody to manage your home, like, I know I like these old, Victorian type, old fashioned shows like Downton Abbey. Okay. Those people paid someone to manage their home. They were paying some woman to manage their home. Let's see. I know that I have a pagan friend who also agrees regarding the morals and such on TV. Yeah. I don't know what I nailed. What did I nail? What did I say? I don't know what I said. Oh, this is bad. It's bad whenever you don't even know what you say half the time. But I don't know what I was saying. Oh, like those old shows. I like those old shows. They're usually clean. They're usually on PBS, and they are mostly about these rich families who had servants. You know, they would pay people to watch after everything and take care of everything. But they paid a lady to manage their home. And then they had, you know, that lady would be doing the hiring and firing most of the time, from what I understand. I could be wrong. This is just what I get from television, which is not real, but it has to come from some real place, I guess. Anyway, this woman would manage the home, manage the nannies, manage all of the employees. They would decide what was brought in the house, food wise or anything like that. And, you know, the lady of the house just got to sit around and do cross stitch or embroidery and, you know, talk to her friends and go to garden parties. I used to be the one who wanted to be the one going to the garden parties and all this stuff, but it seems kind of like a boring life after a while. I would rather be the one who was managing my home, because I like to organize and do the little task and figure out ways to make my house work better and run better. But oh, hello. Shh, be quiet. It's fine. It's nothing. But yeah, I don't know where I got, how I ended up on the feminist thing, but if you think about it, if you're in that mindset, you are super busy all the time. And all that busyness keeps us distracted. All that wanting to fight someone because, you know, when you said feminist women are the ones making women feel bad about. Oh, yeah, exactly. Now, my daughter, she's 21, and I did not raise her to feel like she had to work or she had to have a career or that she had to do certain things. We did not raise her that way. We raised her to, I hope that the message came across, at least I think it did, to decide what she wanted to do with her life on her own and not let others influence her, and not let, you know, things like friends and family and television and you know, the latest fads influence her. And as far as I know, she wants to be a housewife. She wants to stay home and raise children, and I'm fine with that. I love it. I mean, it's what I wanted, so of course I love that. But I didn't force her to think that that's what she had to do, and I didn't force her to think she needed a job. I told her to choose for herself. Pat worked 130 hours in the last 7. Yeah, I saw on Instagram, I think it was, you had put something about him working so much. How is his tooth? I mean, I know he got extraction, but how's he feeling now today? I think you said he got an extraction. I'm just so mixed up lately. He thinks you work harder than. Well, I mean, sometimes you may, on some days, you may be working harder than him, because some days he may not have a fire, thankfully. I mean, he may not have something he has to go to, which I'm pretty sure he has all the time. But there may be some days whenever you have sick babies that are needing mommy all day and all night. You may be, but it does balance out. There have been days whenever Jeff said I've worked harder than him, but it balances out, I feel like. And I don't feel like that it's our place to, you know, compare that either. I don't know. And I know that there are some women who work and they make more money than their spouse. They make more money than their husband does all day long. But I don't think that should be something that we should be comparing either. And I have heard women say, well, I'm the breadwinner because I make this amount of money. Well, honestly, if you're both bringing money in, which whenever Jeff and I were both bringing money in, all the money went to the same checking account, and we didn't look at who made what, which he always made more than me, but still, either way, we didn't care. Yeah, there's been times, okay, whenever I had my spine surgery, I was down for weeks. I couldn't do much of anything. Jeff did it all. Jeff and the kids. I mean, they were older, so they could. There's been times where that I've been sick that somebody else had to take care. They had to take over, and it just happened. It's good whenever you have a husband that does do that, but not everybody I know has that. So, I mean, I know that there's some people that just don't have that. But anyway, it's like what, almost 3:00. I don't even know how we got on the feminist thing. I guess because it's something we needed to talk about today. I don't know. Maybe we ran a few people off, but I did want to say, would you consider posting your brain dumps? Okay, what do you mean by brain dumps? The stuff that I don't understand. Like this that I wrote down today? Is that what you mean? Or what? I'm confused. He's a paramedic on the rescue. Oh, so he's got double job. He literally doesn't stop or sleep and sees horrific trauma daily. Yeah, we are gifted differently, and that's something. Okay? He wouldn't do what I want to do. So you mean post? I can put what I typed out into the description if you want me to. I can type that into what I read, what I wrote down. I can type that into the description after the video is over. It just take me a couple minutes to do it. And then check my spelling and all that stuff. So 5-10 minutes. But I can do that if you want me to, Donna, because you can always, if you're doing it from a computer, you can copy and print. I do that all the time, especially with Fallon's recipes from Moss Family TV, or anybody. Like Tony sometimes puts recipes in her thing. I have some right here where there's one that I've got to go through these recipes and put them into my binder. But there's one in here, like right here, from Sammy for Managing the Maze. She had put, come on, pick it up. She had put this recipe, typed it out in her description, and I just copied and printed, and then I wrote who it was on there. So you can do that from a computer. I don't know about from a phone or anything. I don't think I've tried it from my phone. But those are different recipes that we need to try, and stuff that we have found that we have a plan to start trying something new every 2 weeks or week or something. We don't know yet. But yeah, I can type that up in the description box. So what was I saying before that? I don't know. There's something, yeah, I know what I was going to say. Jeff, he has at times, okay, our brains work differently. We both know that. We both have figured out that our brains work differently. And sometimes the way he does something is different from the way I do something, and then we can talk about it. Or he knows things that I don't know, like I can't wrap my head around it. I can't understand it. And I believe that because of that, we're made differently, we work well together. But there's some times where Jeff will say that I'm smarter than him, and it makes me angry. I think I've talked about this some on my channel before, and I've talked to him about it. it makes me angry whenever he says that I'm smarter than him, because I'm not. I may have some things that I'm smarter about, but then on the other hand, he has things he's smarter with. Like, I have no clue how to do some of the stuff he does with woodworking and working on vehicles and all these different things that he knows how to do. Just like he can't sit down at this computer and run a YouTube channel. That's just one example. Or he doesn't have a clue how that my stuff works with my planners. He doesn't have a clue how that I decide all the things whenever it comes to what we're buying, what we're cooking, what we're, my cleaning process, any of that stuff. He doesn't have a clue. But because we both know how to do these things, our house works well together because we complement each other. And it makes me so angry, which he hasn't done it in a long time, because the last time that he told me I was smarter than him, I got mad at him and my face turned red. And I just was like, I screamed. I said, "No, I am not." And it was just like, he looked at me and he was just joking. Oh no, he did the laundry without turning on. How do you do? Okay. But it's now a joke because he knows not to say. He knows that's a trigger for him to say he's smarter than me. And it's like, but okay, well, I'm fixing to go anyway. But yeah, there are things that we need to be appreciative of for our husbands. But anyway, that was not the I guess we needed to talk about that too today. I just let this go wherever it wants to go, I guess. The water pipes to turn on washer behind the washer. He didn't turn. Oh no. Okay. Well, he was testing to see if the washer would work. Oh no. It worked out though, I guess. Somehow your clothes somehow got clean. You might have to go back and do it. But anyway, I'm gonna go. It's already 3:00 my time, and I'll type out that stuff in the description. My hair is just getting worse and worse throughout the day, and my eyes are red. I keep noticing that. I don't want to see me, but anyway, I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys next time. Also, if you're do watch most of my videos, I may not have a garden update this week because it's not any different. I usually put that up on Wednesdays, but I'm thinking about putting up a bonus video, a different video than my garden update for tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. But anyway, I have one that I need to edit and put it out Sunday. But I'm going to go, and I will see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't know if you got anything from it. Maybe if nothing else, a nice chat. I don't know. I don't know if it was any help at all today or anything. I know that I do enjoy talking to you guys. So I will see you guys next time. Again, thank you for watching. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.